Hi guys, thank you for joining me once again today. Over the past 3 weeks alone, if you've been following the news in Nigeria, which of course, if you've been following my channel where we talk about Nigerian politics, a lot has been going on in Nigeria. You've had several cases of insecurity, not just cases, but several, will I say, in a very high magnitude. Whether it's in Jos, whether it's in Taraba State, Abuja of all places, Abuja that should be or is the seat of power. Of all places, Abuja as well is also unsafe. Imo State, Kaduna State, Jos. It's as if the whole of the country is becoming paralyzed by insecurity. So this is just over the past 3 weeks ago. This is not even going back to years and months of high insecurity. We've seen a Nigerian army that can't seem to get his grips around Boko Haram. Whether you want to call it Boko Haram, whether you want to call it a swap, the Nigerian army seems incapacitated and unable to resolve the paradox or this confusion called Boko Haram or terrorism. It seems quite easy for the law enforcement agencies to solve the issue of young people doing petty crimes here and there, but when it comes to the most important issue, which is guaranteeing the safety and livelihoods of Nigerians, our government seems incapable. So what I want to talk about, or what I want to discuss in this video, is basically solutions. So how do we solve the insecurity challenges in Nigeria? How do we make Nigeria become like other countries where you can easily travel to without being scared of your life? How do we revamp or change the security architecture of Nigeria? Because you would agree with me that something needs to give. Something needs to happen to Nigeria's security infrastructure. Something needs to change. The way it's been arranged, the way it's been happening over the years has not worked. And it can never work for several reasons. And one of the things I want to talk about in this video, one of the solutions I want to proffer, is that we need to harden our schools. For the past few days now, parents, especially in Abuja, have been going around taking their kids back from schools because of the threats, security threats, terror threats. It's about time that we harden our schools. So what do I mean? Every school in Nigeria, most especially in the north, has to have trained military officers. Whether they want to be in mufti to look like undercover security officers, or whether they want to be dressed in their uniform, that can be sorted out later. But the point is that every school has to have a given number of trained, fully equipped military officers. Whether it's the schools, whether it's our churches, whether it's our public infrastructure, whether it's our highways, whether it's our whatever, we need to harden our public infrastructure. We need to ensure that when we are traveling on the highways, we're not going to be scared of bandits. Whether it's the highways in Kaduna, whether it's the highways in Anambra, wherever at all, we need to deploy efficient and effective police and military officers. One of the ways we can do it is by having them undercover. So, for example, in New York City, I was doing some research about this in New York. One of the ways they've been able to reduce crime, I don't know about now, but a couple of years ago, was they had undercover police officers. Some of them were in the taxi cabs. Some of them were, just hanging around New York City, right? So one of the ways that we can solve this issue is by having undercover military or police officers. In our schools, in our churches. Look at what happened in Owo a couple of weeks ago. Just today, again, I was reading that in the same Owo, there was an attack again just today. So you can see that this is getting out of hand, and we cannot keep on saying thoughts and prayers. At some point, we Nigerians have to start tabling out what are the solutions. How can we solve these issues? The second point I have to make is that we need to deploy facial recognition software. In the highways or in the freeways in developed countries, these things are very popular. These cameras can recognize someone's faces. So whether it's what happened in, for example, the Kaduna train attack, you had the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, telling us that if only they had CCTV cameras, they would have been able to see the bomb being placed on the railway. So because we didn't have cameras, it was difficult for us or for the Nigerian government to know that bombs were placed on the Kaduna railway. So these things don't cost so much money. These things are very easy things to do. Buy these cameras from these companies overseas, bring them back to Nigeria, plan them, have 10, 20 people in different states. This is even a way of creating employment, right? Have them observe these cameras. That's their job. 24/7, someone is watching these cameras. Even have an AI software that will tell you if something is going wrong somewhere, on these cameras, right? Another most important thing I have to talk about in this video is we must decentralize the police force. It's obvious that the police force is overwhelmed. It's so obvious. The police cannot handle the insecurity in Nigeria. It's not possible. The army cannot handle the amount of insecurities in Nigeria. They are so overwhelmed. The federal government can no longer keep this power to themselves. They must allow the state governors at the local level, at the state level, to be able to enforce and engage the security that fits them. The security architecture that applies to Ibadan might not apply to Imo State. The security architecture that applies to Enugu State might not apply to Lagos State. So we must allow the governors and we must give them the powers to be able to employ, train, recruit, and do what needs to be done in their own states when it comes to security. Having a top-down approach, having the president of Nigeria through the Minister of Police or through the what's he called, the head of the police, having him bring out one solution that fits all does not work. We need to have our governors, or we need to give them the power to be able to solve the insecurity issues in their states. So this is what I mean by we have to change the security architecture. These things can be done. These things are very easy to do. Another thing that I'm going to talk about, one second to last solution, is use of human intelligence. What do I mean by human intelligence? Currently, one of the issues that we have in Nigeria is that some aspects of the military, some aspects of the police have been widely known to work with these kidnappers, bandits, and terrorists. These kidnappers, these bandits, they have people in the army. They have people in the police force that, for example, when they take, for example, 100 million naira, the police or the army officers will take their own percentage and they will take their own percentage. This is the bandits or the military using human intelligence against the Nigerian government. So the Nigerian government also has to use that policy or that strategy against them as well, which is that the Nigerian government has to have its own people within these groups of bandits or terrorists. People feeding them information, telling the Nigerian government so and so attack is going to happen at Kuje prison. So attack is going to happen at so highway or so railway. You need to use human intelligence to make these things happen. And finally, it's been widely reported that the Kuje prison attack, the DSS knew about it. Many of these attacks, I believe, in my own opinion, the DSS knows about these attacks. The DSS, which is the Department of State Security, we already know that they listen to our phone calls, they listen to our they know our text messages. Obviously, privacy laws in Nigeria are so lackluster. So we know all these things, right? So in my own opinion, what is lacking is the will to do all these things. For some reason, the government of Nigeria lacks the will or the desire or the courage to do what needs to be done. For some, whether it's for tribalistic reasons, whether it's for religious reasons, whether it's for political election reasons, whatever reason it may be, the will to do what needs to be done by this government is lacking. They can't seem to get around the fact that maybe some of these people are from their own ethnic group, and so they don't want to seem as if they're attacking them. And so perhaps what we need is to change the leadership of the country. What we need is better leaders. Not just perhaps, obviously what we need are better leaders. People that have the will, people that have the courage of their convictions. This is what I talk about a lot. We need leaders that have the courage of their convictions to do what needs to be done. We need leaders who are fearless, who have the will to do what needs to be done to tackle these insecurity issues. Like I said in my former video, when is enough enough? You know, at some point, this blood that is spilling on a daily basis, perhaps on an hourly basis, at some point it has to be enough. We can't continue at this like this for a long time. Buhari has already signed out. It's obvious that Buhari has checked out from the presidency. His mind is no longer there anymore. You know, when it comes mentality-wise, the guy has signed out. The VP is recovering from his surgery. The House of Rep Speaker is in America undergoing a course, whereas ASU is on strike. Lawan as well signed out. He's not gonna come back for Senate because he didn't get the primary for Senate. So what we have is the leadership class in comatose. Our leaders are in comatose condition. They don't want to do anything anymore. Even if we could assume they were doing something before, but now it's like they're no longer interested. And so perhaps what we need is a massive change in our country's leadership, and hopefully next year, you know, things will change. So guys, please let me know what you think about this video. I want to talk. I'm always profiling solutions. I don't just want to come here and rant and tell you about Nigeria's problems. I believe we all know what the problems are. I think our job should be to, whenever we talk about the problems, in the same sentence, we have to talk about the solutions as well. So, like I gave you my solutions, feel free to critique those solutions. Feel free to let me know what you think as well. Are there any other things that you've read about or you've seen that you believe that if we did this in Nigeria, this will work? Are there other things that you believe that if we apply what is being used in, for example, Switzerland, Ghana, Rwanda, South Africa, if we apply those things will work in Nigeria? So let me know. And please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching.